Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and today we'll be discussing how Fortnite is changing the gaming landscape, even to this day. From titans of the industry like Call of Duty, upcoming games like Skate 4, and everyone's favorite game, Overwatch 2. You see, Fortnite's success back in the late 2010s was probably the biggest boom in popularity any game has ever seen. It was an overnight sensation with what felt like everyone talking about it. Heck, even the news channels were talking about it. That's just how big it was. However, that level of success comes at a big cost. Soon it seemed like every major gaming company in the industry wanted a piece of Fortnite's pie, and they were going to get it one way or another. First though, I want to talk about why I think Fortnite is so successful to this day. It's no secret that Fortnite and Epic Games are trendsetters in the industry, the first of which being their Battle Royale. Battle Royale games and game modes began popping up everywhere after that. The biggest new kid on the block at the time was 2018's COD Black Ops 4's Blackout mode, which, I thought it was kind of bad, but, to each his own. Anyway, that mode led to the creation of today's COD Warzone. Okay, so admittedly, I haven't played a lot of Warzone, but can you blame me? The first game I played, somebody was blasting Indian music into their mic so I couldn't hear them get behind me and kill me. Come on. Now, another big one at the time was what many believed to be the Fortnite killer, Apex Legends. In my opinion, Apex at the time was the biggest winner when it came to the Battle Royale craze post-Fortnite. It had come out at a time when people were starting to get tired of Fortnite, whether it was general fatigue or when you shot somebody and they would start building the Guangzhou Chaotu Fook Financial Center. It's a big building. You get it. Apex was able to capitalize on the growing amount of people who grew fatigued of Fortnite. Though today it's not as prevalent in the gaming zeitgeist as it once was, Apex still has a very respectable player base, with the 24-hour peak as of writing this script over 111,000 on Steam charts alone. I'd imagine Apex might be around for as long as Fortnite will be. Sadly, there are a lot of cases of failed Battle Royale games over the years too. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, Rumbleverse, Hyperscape, Realm Royale Reforged, the list goes on. These games had good ideas, but for one reason or another, they all didn't do well. It makes me think maybe it was the fatigue and oversaturation of the Battle Royale genre that led to their downfalls. At the time, you really couldn't escape Battle Royale games. They were just popping up everywhere, whether the game needed it or not. I'm also just pretty salty about Rumbleverse. The game looked fun and I didn't even get to try it. Now we move on to one of Fortnite's greatest inventions, the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is one of Fortnite's biggest successes in terms of microtransactions. It offers exclusive FOMO content that requires you to play the game for an exorbitant amount of time, or you could just pay your way through the tiers with real money. The Battle Pass was so popular, it was a figurative death blow to loot boxes in the gaming industry, often replacing them in any game they were found. Now, whether this was completely because of the genius of the Battle Pass or not is hard to tell. At the time, loot boxes had a pretty poor reputation of being a waste of money and gambling for skins and items. If I'm being completely honest, I actually like Fortnite's Battle Passes. And yes, they have multiple now too. I like all of them, but the Lego Pass is a little bit mid, I'm not gonna lie. But the biggest waste of money, the biggest slap in the face to its fan base, the most disgusting, putrid, greedy Battle Pass I have ever seen is
Overwatch.
Overwatch 2's Battle Pass is the best example I have for a large game abusing its Stockholm Syndrome fan base with its monetization. Just take a look at this. Do you notice anything? There is so much filler in this Battle Pass. And you see these? These things weren't even in Overwatch 1. They added them just to have more filler in the Battle Pass. And what do? They're useless. They do nothing. And I haven't even seen anyone use them. That's how I'm going off script. I haven't even seen anyone use those things. Skins, emotes, even highlight intros, I get that. But weapon charms, souvenirs, player icons, name cards, I'm still going, victory poses, I'm still going, sprays, voice lines, they're all low tier rewards that are absolutely overwhelming everything else in the Battle Pass. On top of that, they put the new characters behind the Battle Pass paywall. Or you could just do, I don't know, like a million challenges and just, hope you play enough to get it. Okay, so you know how there's in-game currency in Fortnite's Battle Pass? You could get the V-Bucks through the Fortnite Battle Pass, so if you complete it, you could pretty much pay off the next Battle Pass. Like how most Battle Passes are. Yeah, they don't have that in Overwatch, or at least they didn't. I think they do now, but, after everyone bullied them for it. I mean, they really tried to get away with leaving out the in-game currency, so you'd have to pay for every single battle pass. Oh, and let's not forget that Overwatch's items in the battle pass are character specific. Sure, not all of them are, but most of them are. If you don't play the character the skin is for, if you don't play the character the voice line is for, if you don't play the character that the souvenir is for, you don't use it. Half of the items you really aren't gonna use unless you play every character. And yeah, there are the people that play every character, but most casual people, they pick 1, 2, 3, and stick with those. Oh, and what's even funnier, if you really think about it too, I'm still mad, I'm still going off script, I'm just ranting here. One thing that's funnier is that you can have characters that you don't have unlocked getting items in the battle pass, so you could pay for the battle pass and get skins you can't use, voice lines you can't hear, emotes you can't emote with. You can't use all of it if you don't have every single character unlocked. How fun! If Fortnite's battle pass is what we consider the standard true neutral, then Overwatch's battle pass represents lawful evil. Because you know that every single time they're going to try and rinse you for as much money as possible without fail. Okay, I apologize for the rant, but I mean, come on, it's Overwatch. I really can't resist dunking on them. These battle passes are pretty much everywhere in the industry now. Even Clash of Clans has one. But these passes are all varying price and quality. Some are well worth your money, and some, well... I do believe battle passes are a better system than loot boxes, but it's not always handled with respect to the player, and that's the biggest issue. Respect. Now, this next thing is something I've, in my personal life, heard a lot of people complaining about recently. The overwhelming amount of collaborations. Fortnite is pretty much collabed with everything under the sun at this point. I mean, now they're even doing shoes of all things. And I think we've all seen the meme at this point. Goku, Ariana Grande, Mr. Incredible, and Snoop Dogg all playing together in one nice squad. Now, if I were a betting man, I'd say that these collabs are pretty much printing money for Epic. So much so that they'll probably keep adding them at this breakneck pace for a really long time. As Fortnite's begun ramping up just how many collabs they have, I've seen a few other games doing the same. Granted, the spread of this isn't as great as the battle passes, most likely because a lot of the games wouldn't be able to get the rights to the skins from the big IPs. I won't sit here and tell you a lie that Fortnite invented collabs or anything like that, because they didn't. I mean, if you just look at the Mortal Kombat series, collabs have been coming out a lot earlier than Fortnite has even existed. I do think Fortnite has shown the gaming industry just how profitable they can be though. Now we see games like Party Animals and even Guilty Gear Strive getting collabs. The biggest complaint I've heard is that these collabs take away from the identity of the game. After all, when you're playing Modern Warfare, it's definitely funny to see Homelander laser Nicki Minaj's head off, but it just doesn't feel like COD at that point. Even when it comes to Fortnite's identity itself, when you load into a game of BR, most of the skins you're gonna see aren't created from Fortnite's design team. They're really just collabs. On one hand, some of the collabs I think are pretty awesome. I mean, you've got the aforementioned The Boys collab in Call of Duty, which fit pretty decently for the time. And then you've got the silly SpongeBob skins in Fall Guys. On the other hand, though, there are some that kind of feel like blatant cash grabs. They're just trying to get people from other things to play the game. I mean, sadly, the best example of this is Fortnite itself. I mean, they added a Kaby Lame skin. And I mean, why? Either way, when it comes to the mass collabs in gaming, I think it's a bit too early to tell whether or not it'll be a good thing or a bad thing for the industry. We just kind of need to see how things play out, I guess. Okay, real talk time. I have no idea if this is going to be really long or really short. I'm at page 7. I've never wrote a script before, so yeah, I'm going to try and err on the safe side and make the rest of the script real short so it's not going on too long. When it comes to live service games, again, I'll say Fortnite didn't invent it, but it did popularize it, which is a trend I think we're starting to see with them. They take these things that are already created and they just do them better than most of the other AAA games. And because of that, I think really they're kind of shining. Now, if you don't really know the definition of a live service game, let me just look it up and tell you, because I don't really know how to word it. Okay, we've got live service games. What do they mean? That's a lot. I'm not reading all that. League of Legends, Apex, Fortnite, etc. Anything with free extra content that is regularly updated. That sounds like it's pretty good. It's the promise of a barely functional game being sold as a AAA masterpiece that aims to nickel and dime users for several years. That could definitely describe some of them. Games that are designed to be played forever. Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright, now you got the basics, but I need you to keep up, buddy. Come on. I definitely think this gaming business model has kind of grown to the point of exhaustion. It's gotten so out of control that some, for better or worse, are being converted into these free-to-play, microtransaction-heavy live service games. Some of these that converted, I'll actually say, did it pretty well. Fall Guys, for example, actually gave itself a breath of fresh air, breath of new life, whatever you want to say. And some, some like Doo-Doo Watch 2, that's what I put in my script. Well, those were made unbearable, as you could probably tell by my earlier rant. And, Skate, my poor baby boy. You used to have class, Skate. Look at what they did to you. We used to bring out the fine china when you were in the room. You're just like them now. Skate 4. Just like them. Just like Overwatch. Disgusting. When it comes to whether or not live service games are a good or bad thing, I feel like it depends on the game and its developers, and you can't really just say a blanket statement of, oh, they're good or oh, they're bad. It really depends on who's making it. If you got an LSG, that's live service game. You need to keep updating the game so that it doesn't get stale. Quality shakeups to the core gameplay, at least for me, will always be a good sign. All in all, I think the overall impact Fortnite's had and will continue to have on the gaming industry as a whole is incalculable. While I believe that some of this impact is good, it also needs to be noted that by taking inspiration or copying from the most successful game strategy, you kind of rob yourself of what you could have been. I mean, what if instead of a sleazy battle pass, Overwatch 2 went with something that was entirely their own? What if they moved on from loot boxes but didn't just go with a battle pass? What if Call of Duty never had a battle royale mode? What would it look like today? What if the upcoming Skate 4 wasn't live service? What would it look like? How would it play? How would they monetize it? These are questions, we're not really going to get the answer to, but I still think they're worth asking. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if Epic Games did the same thing these companies did and just copied what was popular at the time, then Fortnite as we know it may not even exist today. Alright, thanks for watching, I guess. This was my first real try at a video, I guess you could say. It's my first time writing a script and editing this much, so I guess I just wanted to say thank you for watching if you made it all the way to this point. Criticism is always welcome. It definitely helps me, get better as a whole. A lot of this is opinion based. So if you like Overwatch 2, you're allowed to like it. If you're one of 8 people that still plays it, you can enjoy it all you want. I guess I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one.